My name is Savannah Robinson, and I work at the University of Leicester in the Future Student Office. Part of my role is to deliver talks to make sure that you know all you need to know to go to university. But I also went to university myself as well. So I have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and I know how daunting the next steps might be, especially in regards to student finance, scholarships, and bursaries as well. But hopefully, after this talk today, it's going to update you and make you more aware of what to expect when you apply to student finance. So, like I said, what we're going to look at first is we're going to look at student finance and how you actually apply to that, as it is open. It usually opens around March time, and it is open now, so you can apply. And we'll also look at scholarships and bursaries to see where that extra money is, and it's free money as well, so it's even better. But before we do that, I really want you to be aware, do not let student finance or finances be a barrier for you to go into university. Student finance is there to make sure that you can go to university. It's not like other loans because it doesn't affect your credit rating. It won't leave you poor either, because you repay it in a fair way. So don't let it be a barrier. It's more of a graduate contribution, and I'll explain how it is in the presentation itself. So how student finance works. Well, there is some eligibility along with this. So you do need to be home or settled status in the UK. You need to ordinarily be a resident in England on the first day of the first academic year of your course. And you need to have been living in the UK 3 years immediately prior to this date. If you're looking at this and you're not really sure if that is you, you can always get in touch with Student Finance, and they'll be able to tell you from the word like from the horse's mouth if you are eligible. And even if you don't quite meet all the requirements, you could still be eligible for the tuition fee support if you're not eligible for the rest of the support. So it's always worth getting in touch with them, as just because you don't meet all the eligibility doesn't mean there might not be options for you. So if you are eligible and you study full time, it means you'd be eligible for student finance. And there's lots of different courses it's eligible for. For a lot of you, this will be a standard degree. So it will be a BSc or BA, but it could also be an integrated master's, or it could be a foundation, so a 4-year foundation course. So there's lots of different courses that you can get this support for if you're not planning on doing the standard BA or BSc course. How it works is you will get 3 different types potentially, or definitely 2. You'll get your tuition fee loan, which is the £9,250 that's paid directly to a university. I was really good when I found this out because I thought, "Oh, I'm going to be rich even if it's just for one day." But it is nice because it means you don't have to worry. There's then the maintenance loan, and this goes directly to you, and it's to help with living costs, so things like food and rent. But it does change on where you go to university and your household income as well. On top of that, there's also additional support grants. So this is free money that's given to students on a number of things. So it could be disabled students allowance or adult dependent grant as well. How it works is you do one application. That one application to Student Finance England will give you your tuition fee loan, so that 9,250. It will also give you your maintenance loan, which is paid directly to you, and also any additional support that you are eligible for. On the other side of that are universities and companies that offer those bursaries and scholarships. So with the maintenance loan, like I said, it does depend on where you decide to go to university and what your household income is. And you can see a full breakdown here. You can see if you decide to go to London, you do get slightly more just because of the rate of inflation there. If you live with parents, you get slightly less, just because they believe that you might get a little bit more support from them, so you might not have to pay as much rent or food bills either. And then if you live anywhere else away from home, but studying outside London, you get the living away from home and studying outside London amount. And you'll see as the household income gets higher, the amount you get becomes lower. And household income is any taxable income in the house. So it's usually things like wages from parents, and perhaps rent if you rent a property as well. and different things like that. But you can see a full list of taxable income on the HMRC website as well if you do need a bit of support with that. But you can see this is the rate that you would get for a year. So you would get, £9,706 per year of study. And the way it works is that you would get this in 3 installments. So you get a little bit at the start of September, a little bit in January, and a little bit in March as well to help you budget a lot better. So it's much better that way than getting it in a massive chunk. What will happen is you'll get a student finance entitlement letter saying how much student finance you could get, and then it will tell you when your installments will be paid as well, and also the details of any other grants, so that additional student support or other payments that you would be eligible to get as well. So it's nice and easy. You'll need to register at the university before any money is released. So you wouldn't get this until, the September or October when you've registered that you're at the university. So do be aware of that. Registration is really important to do. But if you're wondering what you could be eligible for now, hopefully that table has really helped you kind of have an idea of what it is. But you could always look at the student finance calculator, and that will give you more of an idea of what you'd be able to get and includes the additional support as well. So it will really give you an idea. So when you start looking at things like the accommodation for the universities you're interested in, you'll be able to work out if your student finance covers that. Most of the time it does. And also what you have left over, so you'll know whether you need to supplement your income with a job or look at those bursaries and scholarships as well. So on to loan repayments. How loan repayments work is that you don't have to worry about it until April after you've completed your study. So you've got nearly a year where there's no stresses, no worries at all about this. Once it gets to the April after you've graduated, if you are earning £27,295 over that, you will start paying it back. If you are earning £27,295 or under, you do not start paying it back. You don't need to worry about it. Even if you're just earning over that amount, it might be that things like your pension bring you back under that amount anyway. But when you are over that threshold, you'll start paying 9% of everything you earn over £27,295. So, for example, if it was £27,296, you're £1 over, so you'd be paying 9p back each year. All outstanding repayments are written off 30 years after you graduate as well. So you've got a lot of time where you don't have to worry. If you don't pay it all back, you don't have to worry. No red mark is put against your name. It doesn't affect your credit rating, which is why it's not like normal loans. If you are in the position where you can repay early, you can do that. There's no penalty for that. However, think about whether it's really worth it, because after 30 years, it's wiped out anyway. So if you're someone who probably isn't going to pay it all back anyway, it might be better not to do that. So do be aware of that and decide what's best for you. So I know I use the example of £1 and it being 9p, but realistically, this is what it might look like for you. So you can see there a list of the salaries that you might have and what the monthly repayment would be. If you're on a salary, it's usually taken every month, which is really great because it means that you don't have to worry about it. There's not a big chunk going at the end of the year, which makes it really easy to budget, and you're used to seeing that amount taken out of your wages. So it is a really good way to do it. But you can see there what it would be. And for a lot of it, £20, that's probably what you're paying for a phone bill, if not more. So it is done on a fair way. You're not going to be living in a cardboard box or eating beans or anything like that, unless you choose to, of course. So it is done in a fair way. And if for some reason, you have a really good year where you're earning over, and then the next year you're not earning over that amount anymore, it stops. So it's only when you're earning over that amount. If for some reason you're not earning over that amount, then the repayments would stop. And there is interest involved with this as well. But please do not worry too much about the interest, because this is included in the 30 years. So after 30 years, this is wiped out as well. Under the current system, a graduate who's earning £31,575 would only pay back £37.50 a month. Over 30 years, that's 13,500. So they've not even paid off all their tuition fee loan, never mind the interest or the maintenance loan. 83% of people are in the same position where they won't clear the debt, including that interest, within the 30 years. So please do not worry about it. Don't let it be a reason for you not to go, because it is a contribution. You're only contributing when you're earning over a certain amount. If you're not earning over that amount, then you don't contribute. And after 30 years, it's wiped out and it doesn't affect your credit rating or anything like that either. So I've talked a lot about student finance and what's involved with it, but you're probably wondering how you actually apply to this. Well, you apply online and you do this via the government website. It's really easy. It's mostly multi-choice questions, so you can see on the screen there what it looks like. There's 7 sections, and they're all pretty easy to fill in. You'll need things like your national insurance number and passport if you have them. You can apply to student finance even if you don't know exactly which university you're going to. So as soon as you've decided which university is your firm choice and insurance choice, I would recommend applying and putting your firm choice as the university that you're going to. And then on results day, if that changes, it's really, really easy to change. I had to change mine. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. It's much better to change it and get it in early than it is to get it in late, because you might not be able to get your student finance in time. It is linked to the UCAS application as well, so if anything does change and you forget to tell us, they can find out too. Um, Another key thing is make sure you tick the box on the form to share information with the university. This isn't for marketing or anything like that. It's so we're aware of things like your household income and also your details. So any bursaries or scholarships you're eligible for, you automatically get. And it's things like, the academic scholarship and then bursaries that you'd be eligible for. So the best thing that's going to happen is you're going to get some free money. The worst thing is you're not going to get anything. So just tick that box to make life easier for yourself. It saves you having to do admin and go back and forth with the university and do it yourself. Parents will need to fill in part of the application. So once you've done your application, you'll be asked to put in their details, like their email address. They'll then be sent an email to fill in their own application that's linked to yours, where they'll put in their household income. It is based on the previous tax year. So if your household income has gone down by 15%, you can do a current income assessment once you both have filled in both parts of the application, and that's available online as well. So you can do that if it needs to be a current income assessment. You do need to reapply every year, but it's nice and easy. It's just a case of, getting a message. It'll tell you to reapply. You just check through, make sure everything's correct. If anything's changed, just update it, and then you're done. So for this, make sure you keep account of your customer reference number and passwords to make life easier for you. And it's definitely worth it. I've talked a lot about, it being a graduate contribution, and how to pay for it. But I just want you to know it's definitely worth doing the experience if you're interested in university, not only because on average you can see that you do earn more, but also because of the amazing experiences you get. It teaches you so many great transferable skills for the workplace. It gives you so many opportunities to interact with different careers as well with your year in industry, and you get to meet some amazing people and gain that independence as well. So it is a really great thing to be involved in if you are considering it. I obviously am biased because I went to university and I work for one now, but I absolutely loved it. It really helped me grow as a person, and every job I've had since has needed a degree. So, on to bursary scholarships and grants. These are really great ways to find out more, to get more money and supplement your income. As well, and you can stack these up too. So you can apply to as many scholarships as you want. So apply to as many as you're eligible for. One we have at the moment is the Citizens of Change 100, which is basically £2,500 per year of study for 3 years. If you can do a 60-second video on how you would change lives. So supporting themes of mental health, homelessness, and food poverty, but it can be anything that you think could really change the world. And it can be as inventive as you want. This 60-second video. A lot of people have done it on TikTok, but some people have made really great videos as well. So apply and see if you can get this if you're interested in studying at Leicester. But there are lots of different types of scholarships that universities do too. So check out each university and see what's eligible for you. We have music scholarships and we have sports scholarships as well. And you do need to apply to these. But as well, there's things like mature student scholarships and there's academic scholarships as well. So check every university out and see what you do need to do to apply to these. But if you aren't sporty or you aren't musical, there's still lots of weird and wonderful things out there for you. So there's things like the vegetarian charity grant, where if you were a vegetarian and you promised to stay vegetarian at university, you could get £500. And there's also ones like the Leverhulme Trust Bursary, which is for son or daughters of a grocer or travelling salesman. So there is lots of weird and wonderful ones out there. So check things like scholarshiphub.org because you'll be able to see a lot of different scholarships, and some of them are very weird and wonderful. So, in summary of my talk today, remember to apply early to student finance. You don't need to know exactly where you're going to go. You just need to know where you're thinking of going to university, and then you'll be able to apply. And you can change that when on results, if on results day that changes. There's lots of different sources of money available to you to support your studies, like those scholarships and bursaries. Stack them up and apply to as many as you're eligible for. And if you're looking at, your maintenance loan and the other sources of income you have, and you're thinking, oh, I might need a little bit more money just to help get me through university, you could always think about supplementing your income by getting a part-time job at university through our ambassador schemes or Unitemp schemes that we do, or just working in the city or place more widely. Or you could always work over your holidays back home as well. But remember, getting a degree is definitely worth it. It's that next really exciting pathway for you. So get excited as well. But thank you for listening. I hope you found that useful. And if you do have any questions about today's talk, please do find us on www.le.ac.uk/chat. You can chat to lots of students. You can chat to many staff as well, including me, who will be more than happy to support you on your journey to university. But thank you for listening. Bye.